Hi guys, my name is Melissa Joyce and welcome to today's video. If you are new and have not watched me before, then welcome. If you enjoy this as you watch through, then please consider subscribing. And if you are joining me again, then thank you so much for coming back. Today I'm going to be talking about a product that I received, I believe in my December Ipsy bag, and that is this Tarte Maracuja oil. So I've taken a bit of time to review this because I have tried using this a couple of times and I do have some thoughts on this. Those thoughts are a little bit more first impression because while I did use this for a period of time, I did not use it for the full, 6 weeks to 2 months that you would really need to see a skincare product having an effect on your skin. But I do have some definite thoughts on this. But before we get to that, as we always do in my reviews, I'm going to talk a little bit about the company, about the product, and then get on to my thoughts about it. So let's talk about Tarte. Tarte is a brand, if you go to Sephora or if you watch any beauty YouTubers, you know about Tarte. They have all kinds of products that people use and review and love. I have never actually used a Tarte product before, and because this is skincare, I still have not used any Tarte makeup. In my mind, especially lately, Tarte is best known for its Shape Tape, which is the under eye concealer that everybody raves about, and it actually does seem to be a legit favorite, as I think it came out about 4 months ago, and you just still see people using it constantly. Tarte is a company that was founded in 1999 by its founder, Maureen Kelly. She mentions a few times in the intro about how she founded it in her one-bedroom apartment, which I think is kind of funny. Like, a lot of us live in one-bedroom apartments, especially if you live in a city. It keeps making it sound like, I started it in my, from my hard beginnings. And it's like, it's a one-bedroom apartment. That's what this is. So I've seen that mentioned a few times, but basically the idea is that she started it as a home business. She says in her sort of founding story that she was looking for quality products in good packaging. There was a piece in there that I thought was kind of funny where she talked about how if you bought drugstore products at the time, not only were they not great for your skin, but also, the packaging, you were embarrassed to take it out of your bag. And I'm thinking, maybe I just have a totally different view on life, but I'm never embarrassed by packaging. There's packaging I don't like because it looks cheap, and for the enjoyment of the product, it's nice when something is luxurious and pretty, but that's more about the user experience. I'm not embarrassed if something comes in a bad package. She does talk about how they want it to be green and they want it to do things that were good for your skin, good for the earth, and that really seems to come through in their products. The actual tagline for Tarte, if you didn't know this before, is Tarte High Performing Naturals. And I'm just looking down here a little bit. I made some notes before I got started on this. They are cruelty-free, with a little asterisk beside it, which I'll get back to in a moment. They also are very specific about what does not go into their products. So there's no parabens, phthalates, mineral oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, there's no synthetic fragrances, and all of their products are gluten-free. And they do point out which products are also vegan. So if you are somebody who is avoiding certain ingredients, or you really want something that is cruelty-free with that asterisk, I'll get back to, there are some really good things in these products. It also talks about how through their packaging, they try to support cooperatives in the rainforest and use sustainable components for their packaging wherever possible that can be reused. So all of this is wonderful. I read that and I think, okay, this is somebody who is making a quality product that cares about the community. And it also talks about not only did they want to make a product that was, free of all these things you don't want, so it has good ingredients in it, but also has, long wearing. And they talk about their 12-hour wear. So I have seen people talk about their eyeshadows and their blushes as being very long lasting. I know that there are a number of palettes that are sort of cult favorites and things like that. There's also a lot of products when I was looking through their website that I had actually never really heard of before. I've seen people use like the Tarteist mascaras, but then there's other mascaras I've never really seen anybody review. They did the collaboration that led to the Swamp Queen palette with Bunny, and you know, there's the Tartelette in Bloom palettes, things like that. There's also a line called the Man-Eater one. There's a Man-Eater palette, eyeshadow palette, and a few things like that, which I'm a little iffy about. The word man-eater is not something that makes me feel empowered as a woman, and just, it feels like there's a whole bunch of baggage behind it. But anyway, they have a number of products that are loved. If you are looking to buy them here in Canada, you can buy them at Sephora. I believe if you are in the States, you can also buy them at Ulta. We do not have that here in Canada, at least not where I live. So they are priced on the higher end. It's not going to be super luxury, but it's going to be Sephora prices. You can also order through their website in Canada, which is the only place that you can actually get Shape Tape, because you can't get it at Sephora. And if you're ordering through there, if you get $75 worth of product Canadian, they will do free shipping, which is not going to be hard to get to when you actually go with the Canadian prices that are there. So the little asterisks that I was talking about in their cruelty-free claim is that they were bought by a parent company in 2014, and it is a Japanese parent company called Kose. That's Kose, and the E has a accent on it. It's interesting because if you are on their website, as far as I could see poking around, you don't see anywhere that they're owned by a parent brand, and that's fair. A lot of companies don't tend to tell you that. So I like to go a little bit deeper into the research and sort of look around and say like, okay, who owns Tarte, you know? So I found out that they were bought in 2014, and it's not unusual for a cosmetic company to have a parent company. Maureen Kelly stayed as the CEO, so that is correct. And a lot of times companies will do this so that they have a larger company that can provide more investment into their products. They get different distribution channels, things that they can grow the company in a way that they couldn't before. So Kose, who is the parent company in Japan, owns a number of different brands. No brands that I recognized other than Tarte, with the exception that they have the rights to distribute Rimmel in Japan. So they're not actually the parent company of Rimmel, but they have the rights to distribute their products. All the other products, or companies I should say, were companies I had not heard of before. I think they are more in the Asian markets. Kose is not a cruelty-free company. So they do have product lines within them that are tested on animals. Now, there was a lot of clarification that Tarte continues to not test on animals. So if you are buying anything from the Tarte brand, those cosmetics and skincare are not being tested on animals. They are cruelty-free. However, by buying them, you are supporting a parent company that is not cruelty-free. So if you are somebody who cares about cruelty-free makeup, you need to make the decision for yourself about what level you want to be looking at that, and if Tarte is still a company that you consider cruelty-free. All that being said about the company, let's move on to talking about this product. So the maracuja oil is a ingredient that they have in a number of their products. So if you actually go to their website and look through, you will see there are some maracuja oil eye creams, brightening creams. It's in a few different cosmetics. They tend to have sort of their Amazonian clay products. They have their Tartist ones. They have their Rainforest of the Sea, and then they have some of the maracuja oil ones. Maracuja is derived from a fruit, and I'll just read you the little bit of what it says on here, that it's known as Puro Milagro, or the pure miracle. This rare Amazonian fruit is delicately harvested piece by piece. The superfruit is sustainably collected, and then the nutrient-rich seeded pulp is extracted from each individual fruit. This naturally harvested treasure, referred to as the alma or soul of the maracuja fruit, is then hand-pressed without the use of heat to guarantee the maximum amount of nutritious essential fatty acids and vitamins. And cold pressed is one of those things you will see with different kinds of oils. If an oil is cold pressed, it means it retains more of the beneficial fatty acids and things that are within it. So it does say that this beauty oil is rich in essential fatty acids, and vitamin C, is known to recharge and replenish. It gives the appearance of smoother, brighter skin. And this earth-prescribed treatment oil provides instant hydration, quenching skin with no greasy, filmy feel. Discover what it can do for you. It does say to use this as part of your skincare regime, with using 2 to 3 drops of the oil on your skin morning and night, or morning or night, depending on what you want. I also think this is beautiful packaging. Let me just say that. Like, how cute is this? And this is a miniature version of what you get in the full size. This is, I think, 0.23 ounces. And if you buy the full size, it's 1.7 ounces, which in Canadian money is going to set you back $60. So it's not inexpensive. But it is so cute. It has a little dropper, and this is wood around the outside, and then a little gold dropper that, you know, sucks up the oil and dispenses it. So it is really nice, luxurious packaging. It makes you happy to sort of see this sitting on your vanity and to be able to get to use it. It has a bit of a unpleasant smell. Maybe not unpleasant. It smells like cooking oil. Like, it really smells like you took vegetable oil off your shelf and poured it into here. I am not somebody, let me just get this out of the way now, that uses a lot of beauty oils. But I do know there are others that have nicer scents than this. It really smells like somebody took vegetable oil and poured it into this bottle. So that part of it is not so luxurious. But I do appreciate that they probably are not adding artificial scent to it to make it smell like something that it's not. I tried 2 times to test this as a facial oil. And facial oils are not something that I usually use as part of my routine. So take this review with a little bit of grain of salt, that I'm not sure if this is necessarily all because of this product versus other beauty oils, or just how my skin reacts to beauty oils. So here are the things that I noticed. First of all, that it takes a while to get into the practice of how to distribute 2 to 3 drops of this on your skin. Because I found at first I was putting 2 to 3 drops in my hand, putting my fingers in, and then trying to rub it on my face, but it would mostly stay in the area where I first put it on, and it wasn't viscous enough to really cover my whole face. So then I started getting a little bit more used to it, and I would put a dab on and very lightly dabbed all over my face. I do not find that it lives up to its claim of not being greasy or oily. I definitely felt a greasy film on my face after using this. What I would try to do sometimes, because beauty oils use under moisturizer, is put the beauty oil on and let it sit for a little while before I put the moisturizer on. And you could feel the greasiness. Like, I could swipe my fingers across my face and see the oil coming off on it. And that would be like 15, 20 minutes, a half hour after putting it on. So it does not, on my skin, absorb super quickly. The first time I tried using this was just after I received it, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna put this to the test, and I started using it all over my face. For me, what I found is that I was not having good skin days at that point. I was putting it on and it was making my skin look redder, and I felt like my pores were looking bigger, and it just didn't feel like it was doing any kind of benefit for my skin. It wasn't brightening. If anything, it was making it look a little bit more red and dull. So I used it, I want to say, for maybe a week and then stopped. And then I had it sitting there for a while, and I thought, okay, that wasn't really a fair test, because maybe it was something else that was in my skincare that I was doing at that point, and it's the winter, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So I took this, and I took a beauty serum that I had received a while ago, and I thought, I'm gonna do a half face test to test. So I started using this on this side of my face and another beauty serum on the other side of my face, and I did that for about 2 weeks. And again, I was finding that this side of my face was looking red when I put it on, feeling oily, and my pores were looking bigger. And I just decided that for me, not worth it to put myself through that for, 4 more weeks just to show that it wasn't doing anything for me. So there is a possibility that after my skin adjusted and got used to using it, that it would start doing some nice things for my face, but I just wasn't feeling it. And sometimes you have to go with what you're intuitively thinking about the skincare that you are using on your skin. I will say it did not break me out. I didn't get any kind of like long-lasting reaction. The redness to it was just sort of immediate when I put it on, and then tended to go away when I put my moisturizer on top, but I just wasn't getting a great feeling about it. So in terms of using it as a beauty oil, this is not for me. What I did find was that this is nice for use in some other ways. So they do list a number of different ways that you can use this, because a beauty oil is a beauty oil. It is not only for your face or only for other things. You can use it for a number of things. So they do say that you can use it for split ends. I have not done that. but they do say you can use it as a moisturizer on other parts of your body, like your, elbows in the winter when you tend to get a bit rough, and it's quite nice for that. I've used it a couple times at the end of the day on my lips as a moisturizer, and then putting like a thicker lip treatment on top, and it's quite nice for that. And the other thing that I found is that it says you can mix this with your foundation, and it's quite nice for that. So I have tried a couple of times. My go-to foundation is L'Oreal True Match. It's sort of a medium coverage foundation, and it just sits nicely on my skin, does what I need to do. So I used that and put it out in a palette and mixed a drop of this in. And what I found was that it created a more sheer but more glowing look to my foundation. So if you are using a foundation, or you're trying a foundation that seems a little bit more high coverage than you want it to be, or a little bit more matte than you want it to be, then this is really nice to mix a drop of into to sort of sheer it out and make it look so much more natural. It is good for that. However, I don't know that I need to spend $60 on a beauty oil to just be using it as a foundation mixer. I think there are cheaper alternatives to go to. So, is this product a recommend? It is not for me. However, I will say that if you are somebody who uses beauty oils and likes to use beauty oils as part of your routine, and you are interested in trying this, because I went to Sephora's website and it got so many 4 and 5 star reviews. Like I think it's rated as like a 4.5 out of 5 stars. There are people who love this. My suggestion to you would be that if you think this might be good for your skin, that you perhaps order a deluxe sample, you see if you can get one through Sephora, you see if you're buying other things on the website, what you can get. Try it out first, or if you live somewhere where your Sephora will take returns. Beauty skincare is such an individualized thing that I can only tell you my experience with this. And my experience was that for me, it's not worth it. And I will say that is very subjective to my opinion. I will objectively say this smells like cooking oil. That is not just my opinion. That is true about this product. But it was nice to try because I'm not a beauty oil person. And I do think that I'm going to keep this around, partly because it is gorgeous, but also it is useful for other things. Foundation mixer, moisturizer on other parts of my body. I do think it'd be a nice leave-in treatment for the ends of my hair when it's getting a bit dry. And this is going to last you a long time. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but I mean, I've used up that much of the bottle, and I was using this for, a number of weeks, and this is a tiny sample one. So if you get the full size of this one, it's gonna last you for a long time. So that is my review of the Tarte Maracuja oil. I do hope you enjoyed this. If you have your own opinions of it, if you received this and you tried it, if you love it, if you aren't using it, other things I can use it for, please leave me a comment below. I respond to every comment that I get. If you like this review, please consider giving it a thumbs up. That lets me know that people are watching and enjoying. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.